All right. Hello, you guys. Welcome to the live stream. It's Coach Yuri and Melody, Lady Starfish. We're just going to wait just a few more minutes so that we can make sure that people are hopping on. And other than that, we'll be starting very soon. So excited to update you guys and have a little chat. So,
Hi.
hello. Melody, where are you in the world?
I am currently in Canada. Where are you?
I'm in Bali, Indonesia. I feel like we both been hopping around all over.
Yes.
Okay, so we'll just wait just a few more minutes, but I'm really excited to have this chat today. And um update our people. Hello. Hey, you guys, if you're just hopping on, I would love to hear from you guys. Where are you coming from? Please share with us what city, what country, what part of the world. It would be so wonderful to know who's all here, what part of the world. And we have some amazing things planned for the next hour or so. So join us.
Hello. Wow, look at where everyone is. Got India, Palestine. Happy Ramadan to those of you who celebrate Ramadan. Hope you're fasting well, taking care of yourselves. If you are.
Australia. Australia's
Hi.
pretty close. Texas, Houston, New York. There's some Americans here. Canada. There's some people from Canada. That's where Melody is right now. All right. So we'll get started in just a little bit. For those of you who don't know, this is actually a pretty special meeting in so many ways, and we'll go into this in just a little bit. But yeah, I mean, Melody, you've gone through some massive transformation, like in all the ways. And we actually went live, Melody and I, we went live on Psych2Go during the pandemic of all time. When we were both in Korea, we got to meet. And so we're going to be sharing a little bit about what happened then, what happened since then, and give you guys a little bit of an update and share a passion to really eliminate stigma around mental health and also advocate for healthy mindset, healthy mental state. And we'll talk about all that today. And this specific chat is going to be about how to turn pain into power, and also incorporating spirituality, which is kind of a woo-woo topic, but there's some things we're going to be talking about that's going to be really powerful. I love you guys too. Thank you so much for being here.
Hi, everyone.
So we'll get started in just a few minutes here.
Funny.
Silly.
Hi, Starfish. It's good to see you guys. I'm a little bit on the shy side, so I'm a little bit quieter. But thank you, Yuri, too, for leading this discussion. And I'm really excited to have a conversation with you and with everyone, because we're also watching the comments. So don't no need to be shy like me. Feel free to ask questions if you like, or comment on anything that you resonate with, or that feels relevant to you. Religion, spirituality. We're not necessarily diving into religious talk today. I think there's a little bit of a difference between the two. And there is a little bit of a stigma around spirituality, just as much as with mental health. But we'd love to talk a little bit more about, just like talking about things can clear up the air. I think we all wonder sometimes. Hi. Are we answering questions? We won't be answering just the questions.
So there's like all these different religions, and then people who are like not religious, but you can still be spiritual. So this is like the whole thing we're going to be talking about. I drew a little diagram.
Yeah. Visuals are helpful.
All right, so let's get started. Melody.
Sure.
You're so cute. So Melody, let's talk a little bit about you. So first of all, we call her Lady Starfish because she has a clan that she started, and we'll talk about that today. And sorry, I'm getting distracted by some of the chats here. So I'm looking at this at the same time. So we'll be talking about today, your project with Starfish and how you're creating impact around mental health in your own beautiful way and powerful way. So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about what she's been up to in the last year and a half, how we met. We'll talk about, spirituality. And again, this isn't about religion. This is actually about something bigger, meaning our connection to the universe, connection to the world, connection to your God. So everyone is, able to participate in this without thinking that this is exclusive to one religion or not. We'll be talking about how that can affect our mental health in a positive way, and you can interpret it in your own way. And we'll be sharing a story, both Melody's story as well as a cool story that I want to share with you guys today. But we'll start with the introductions. And by the way, you guys, if you're hopping on right now, please feel free to share where you're hopping in from. We would love to know. We would love to know where you guys are coming from. And that's actually just one thing I love to do when I do these kind of live streams is just to really connect with you guys on an energetic level. Set an intention for the next hour together. And we get to really meet there first. So I would love to set the intention of service, to be of service to you guys, to Melody and the Starfish clan and everyone. Also to be in gratitude. What's your intention for today, Melody?
My intention for today, and also hi Starfish, I am seeing you guys in here. So hi, it's really good to see you. And hello everyone. My intention for today, I did meditate on this a little before, and it's going to touch into the spiritual piece that we're talking about today. But sometimes I don't know if you guys can relate. If you can relate, just comment about it. I overthink a lot, and I can overcomplicate things a lot. So today I just want to be present and be simple, and shed light, and whatever that means. I'm leaving it kind of vague because being is also pretty vague, but shed light on topics, shed light in general, and spread good vibes. That's my intention. I am here to connect with Yuri, and I'm here to connect with all of you guys. Yeah, I also struggle with complex PTSD. We can touch upon many things, but I see you, Savage Sam, and I also overthink a lot. So that's my intention. I just want to be present and have this conversation with all of you and Yuri. I feel pretty grounded right now, but I don't know if you guys also experience this when you're really, really nervous before you do something, and it's like stage fright. And then the moment you're in the flow or you're up there, you kind of feel a little bit better. And that's kind of how I feel right now. I'm just really happy to be here with you guys and talk about stuff. So thank you, Yuri. Is it all right if I introduce you a little bit?
Sure. And by the way, somebody asked, will you answer a question in comments too? We will try our best. There's a lot of comments coming up. So we'll definitely review any questions, comments that's showing up to our best ability during this chat and also after. So either in this live chat or below. So feel free to comment. Feel free to ask us any questions. Feel free to share anything that you really got out of this. That would really help us feel connected to you guys. So please ask away. We'll do our best, whether it's now or later or in a later video even. So feel free to share what is coming up for you guys as this comes up. So, and then really quickly, before we get started, I would love for you guys to just share. If you've been on my live stream, you know this is kind of a ritual. What are you grateful for today? What are you grateful for today? And what is your intention for today for the next 60 minutes? I love that there's all these people from your clan, Starfish clan.
Hey.
So you're grateful for food. Oh my gosh, me too. I just ate right before this.
Yep, I love reading what you guys are saying. Thank you for sharing. Oh, just waking up.
Everything. I love it.
For a best friend.
Grateful for my best friends.
Yes. I see a lot of overthinking relating there, overanalysis. I totally got you. Anxiety, I am not a stranger to either. What else are you? Oh, grateful that, thank you. We're grateful you exist too. It's a mutual feeling.
And grateful we're still breathing. That's so beautiful. I'm grateful for my family. Me too. Place to stay. Grateful for getting a job. Okay, so instantly notice this. There's been research that really just acknowledging what we are grateful for, intentionalizing, like, counting our blessings really do mood and our mental health in a powerful way. So this is good. I don't know if you guys feel this, but already I feel the energy lifting, getting lighter and brighter. So I'm excited to meet you guys there. Okay, cool. So let's get started. Yeah. So did you want to start? Do you want me to start? It's up to you.
Well, I can introduce you, but again, thank you guys for responding and everything. I just wanted to introduce Miss Yuri because I'm really grateful for her. That's what I'm grateful for. There's a lot of things I'm grateful for. And I also want to share that I've been doing a daily gratitude streak. So I'm on day 159 today of finding at least one thing I'm grateful for every day. And Miss Yuri, I am grateful for. She's my life coach. And something she's personally taught me that I think was really helpful was how to daydream again. I think we get so stuck in our negativity. We forget to dream and to look forward to the future. We just get scared about the future, which is what anxiety is, right? So she is a life coach, and she's mine as well as Psych2Go CEO, the YouTube channel owner. She is our life coach, and she works with entrepreneurs and high achievers. She also is an author, has written a bunch of books. Her recent one being Creating True Happiness. It is a good book. I do recommend. I read the whole thing. And
Happiness.
yeah, she's also passionate about mental health advocacy, which is kind of where I guess I get pulled in. She works with a lot of different types of individuals, but here on Psych2Go, we talk about that mental health piece. And I'm just really glad to be able to do this with you. So yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Thank you so much for the introduction. Yeah, so Melodi is a dear soul sister as well as dear soul client of mine. We met through our friend Leonard a long time ago in Korea during the pandemic. And when I saw her, I just knew that we were going to work together, not like work together, but like I knew we were going to collaborate, and somehow I saw this potential in her that I don't think she even saw for herself yet. And I could see that everything that she was going through at the time was going to be such a powerful part of her story. So I'm just really grateful that I got to work with you. I got to connect you and Psych2Go. And that was in 2020, right? 2020 or 2021, where we got to the live stream. And in the last year and a half, you've really just run with your mission to serve the world and create impact positively with your community that you created from that day. And I'm really proud of you. And, working as your coach has been such an honor to be able to witness that transformation very intimately as well. And I'm so proud of you. She's a baddie. She's amazing. So So I'm really excited to share her transformation and so on. So we'll be talking about all of that today. So yeah, let's get started with this. So I think, before we talked about this, last time that we had a live stream like this, we started out with a story and it was really powerful. And today we actually wanted to start with the story around forgiveness. And this is one of my favorite stories in the world. It's a short story, so I'm going to be reading it for you guys in just a little bit, but such a powerful story. So with that said, how many of you guys have aspects of yourself that you can forgive and let go? If you have something, say, I forgive myself in the chat. I forgive myself. If there's something that you want to forgive, aspects of yourself. Reading, lame. I promise it'll be really powerful. I can forgive and let go. Yes, 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 yes.
It's okay if you don't feel comfortable enough to share out loud or publicly, even if you can think it inside yourself or you have a journal nearby, if you can write down something that you want to, even if you can't forgive yourself, at least identify something that you want to forgive yourself for.
Yeah,
And
that's really powerful. And if there is somebody other than yourself,
yes, I found that in my own journey while I see you guys responding here. We are mirrors and we project what we're going through. So if there's someone else in your life that's really difficult to forgive, and if you can identify that person, I find that it's hard to forgive others if I also don't know how to forgive the worst parts of myself. And something I've been working on, particularly in the last 2 years, especially since the last live stream, was forgiving my father. And I'll probably go into this a little bit more, but I just want to share with you guys a large part of why I'm a mental health advocate is because I lost my father to suicide. And so I've spent a lot of time thinking about what drives a person to a place like that. And I've had to forgive him for leaving, right? And then we have abandonment issues and all these things. And then anxiety, like, what is my future going to look like? So maybe find someone that's you felt you wronged you or is really hard to forgive. And yeah, I guess just identify that person and identify pieces in yourself. Those are things that have helped me, at least, come to terms with my anxiety and other parts of, I guess, my brokenness and being lost growing up. So yeah, that's a little bit there. I see what you guys are saying here. This is super beautiful.
yeah.
Beautiful comment.
And also think about that person that you can forgive today.
Hmm.
Like another person outside of yourself, and then aspects of yourself that you want to forgive, because we all have those aspects, but also somebody that you can forgive. And with that person in mind today, I'm going to read you a story, and I promise it's a really powerful story. It's by somebody who wrote a really beautiful book called Conversation with God. His name is Neil Donald Walsh. But this story is called The Little Soul and the Sun. It's actually a children's book, but it's really, really powerful around forgiveness. So if you're ready to listen to this, and any time during the story something resonates, I want you to say, forgiveness is power. In the chat, let us know that it's resonating with you. Let us feel connected to you. Cool.
Thank you guys
So
for
I'll read this
sharing. I'm reading what
story.
you say while you read the story.
Once upon no time, there was a little soul who said to God, I know who I am. And God said, That's wonderful. Who are you? And the little soul shouted, I am the light. God smiled a big smile. That's right, God exclaimed. You are the light. The little soul was so happy, for it had figured out what all souls in the kingdom were there to figure out. Wow, said the little soul, this is really cool. But soon, knowing who it was not enough. The little soul felt stirrings inside and now wanted to be who it was. And so the little soul went back to God, which is not a bad idea for all souls who want to be who they really are, and said, Hi, God. Now that I know who I am, is it okay for me to be it? And God said, You mean you want to be who you already are? Well, replied the little soul, it's one thing to know who I am, and another thing altogether to actually be it. I want to feel what it's like to be the light. But you already are the light, God repeated, smiling again. Yes, but I want to see what that feels like, cried the little soul. Well, said God with a chuckle, I suppose I should have known you always were the adventurous one. Then God's expression changed. There's only one thing. What? Asked the little soul. Well, there's nothing else but the light. You see, I created nothing but what you are. And so there's no easy way for you to experience yourself as who you are, since there is nothing that you are not. Huh? Said the little soul, who was now a little confused. Think of it this way, said God. You're like a candle in the sun. Oh, you're there, all right, along with a million gazillion other candles who make up the sun. And the sun would not be the sun without you. Nay, it wouldn't be a sun without one of its candles. And that would not be the sun at all, for it would not shine as brightly. Yet how to know yourself as a light when you are amidst the light? That is the question. Well, the little soul perked up. You're God. Think of something. Once more, God smiled. I already have, God said. Since you cannot see yourself as a light when you are in the light, will surround you with darkness. What's darkness? The little soul asked. God replied, It is which you are not. Will I be afraid of the dark? Cried the little soul. Only if you choose to be, God answered. There's nothing really to be afraid of unless you decide that there is. You see, we're making it all up. We're pretending. Oh, said the little soul and felt better already. Then God explained that in order to experience anything at all, the exact opposite of it will appear. It is a great gift, God said, because without it, you could not know what anything is like. You could not know warm without cold, up without down, fast without slow. You could not know left without right, here without there, now without then. And so, God concluded, when you are surrounded by darkness, do not shake your fist and raise your voice and curse the darkness. Rather, be a light onto the darkness and don't be mad about it. Then you will know who you really are, and all others will know too. Let your light shine so that everyone will know how special you are. You mean it's okay to let others see how special I am? Asked the little soul. Of course, God chuckled. It's very okay. But remember, special does not mean better. Everybody is special, each in their own way. Yet many others have forgotten that. They will see that it's okay for them to be special only when you see that it is okay for you to be special. Wow, said the little soul, dancing and skipping and laughing and jumping with joy. I can be as special as I want to be? Yes, and you can start right now, said God, who's dancing and skipping and laughing right along the little soul. What part of special do you want to be? What part of special? The little soul repeated. I don't understand. Well, God explained, being the light is being special, and being special has a lot of parts to it. It's special to be kind, special to be gentle, special to be creative, special to be patient. Can you think of any other ways to be special? The little soul sat quietly for a moment. I can think of lots of ways to be special, the little soul claimed. It is special to be helpful. It is special to be sharing. It is special to be friendly. It is special to be considerate of others. Yes, God agreed. And you can be all of those things or any part of special that you want to be. At any moment, that's what it means to be the light. I know what I want to be. I know what I want to be, the little soul announced with great excitement. I want to be the part of special called forgiving. Isn't it special to be forgiving? Oh, yes, God assured the little soul. That is very special. Okay, said the little soul, that's exactly what I want to be. I want to be forgiving. I want to experience myself as that. Good, said God. But there's one thing you should know. The little soul was becoming a bit impatient now. It always seemed as though there was some complication. What is it? The little soul sighed. There's no one to forgive. No one? The little soul could hardly believe what had been said. No one, God repeated. Everything I have made is perfect. There's not a single soul in all creation less perfect than you. Look around you. It was then that the little soul realized a large crowd had gathered. Souls had come from far and wide, from all over the kingdom. For the word had gone forth that the little soul was having this extraordinary conversation with God, and everyone wanted to hear what they were saying. Looking at the countless other souls gathered there, the little soul had to agree. None appeared less wonderful, less magnificent, less perfect than the little soul itself. Such was the wonder of the soul gathered around, and so bright their light that the little soul could scarcely gaze upon. Who then to forgive? Asked God. Boy, this is going to be no fun at all, grumbled the little soul. I wanted to experience myself as the one who forgives. I wanted to know what part of special that is like. Can you guys hear me okay? You still there?
Yep, dipped out just a little bit, but for
Can
the
you hear
most
me?
part,
We're good?
did hear you.
Okay. Not to worry, little soul, who then to forgive, asked God. Boy, this is going to be no fun at all, grumbled the little soul. I want myself as the one who forgives. I wanted to know what that part of special feels like. And the little soul learned what it must feel like to be sad. But just then, a friendly soul stepped forward from the crowd. Not to worry, little soul, the friendly soul said. I will help you. You will? The little soul brightened. But what can you do? Why? I can give you someone to forgive. You can? Certainly, chirped the friendly soul. I can come into your next life and do something for you to forgive. But why? Why would you do that? The little soul asked. You who are being of such utter perfection. You who vibrate with such a speed that it creates a light so bright that I can hardly gaze upon you. What could cause you to want to slow down your vibration to such a speed that your bright light would become dark and dense? What could cause you, who are so light, and you dance upon the stars and move through the kingdom with the speed of your thought, to come into my life and make yourself so heavy that you could do this bad thing? Simple, the friendly soul said. I would do it because I love you. The little soul seemed surprised to the answer. Don't be so amazed, said the friendly soul. You have done the same thing for me. Don't you remember? Oh, we have danced together, you and I, many times. Through the eons and across all the ages have we danced. Across all the time and in many places have we played together. You just don't remember. We have both been all of it. We've been up and down of it, the left and the right of it. We have been the here and the there of it, the now and the then of it. We have been the male and the female, the good and the bad. We have both been the victim and the villain of it. Thus have we come together, you and I, many times before, each bringing to other the exact and perfect opportunity to express and experience who we really are. And so, the friendly soul explained further, I will come into your next lifetime and be the bad one this time. I will do something really terrible, and then you can experience yourself as the one who forgives. But what will you do? The little soul asked, just a little nervously. That will be so terrible. Oh, replied the friendly soul with a twinkle, we'll think of something. Then the friendly soul seemed to turn serious and said in a quiet voice, You're right about one thing, you know. What is that? The little soul wanted to know. I will have slowed down my vibration and become very heavy to do this not so nice thing. I will have to pretend to be something very unlike myself. And so I have but one favor to ask of in return. This part always makes me cry. Oh, anything, anything, cried the little soul and began to dance and sing. I get to be forgiving. I get to be forgiving. Then the little soul saw the friendly soul was remaining very quiet. What is it? The little soul asked. What can I do for you? You're such an angel to be willing to do this for me. Of course, this friendly soul is an angel, God interrupted. Everyone's always remember, I have sent you nothing but angels. And so the little soul wanted more than ever to grant the friendly soul's request. What can I do for you? The little soul asked again. In the moment that I strike you and smite you, the friendly soul replied, in the moment that I do the worst to you that you could possibly imagine, in that very moment. Yes, the little soul interrupted. Yes, remember who I really am. Oh, I will, cried the little soul. I promise. I will always remember you as I see you right here, right now. Good, said the friendly soul, because you will see, I will have been pretending so hard. I will have forgotten myself. And if you do not remember me as I really am, I may not be able to remember for a very long time. And if I forget who I am, you may even forget who you are, and we will both be lost. Then we'll need another soul to come along and remind us both of who we are. No, we won't, the little soul promised again. I will remember you, and I will thank you for bringing me this gift, the chance to experience myself as who I am. And so the agreement was made, and the little soul went forth, a new lifetime, excited to be the light, which was very special, and excited to be that part of special called forgiveness. And the little soul waited anxiously to experience the self as forgiveness and to thank whatever other souls made it possible. In all the moments in that new lifetime, whenever a new soul appeared on the scene, whether that new soul brought joy or sadness, and especially if it brought sadness, the little soul thought of what God had said. Always remember, God smiled. I have sent you nothing but angels. That's the story.
It's a very beautiful
Thank you
story.
for listening. Right.
Thank you for sharing. I was holding my love.
Yeah. Thank you for listening, you guys. What do you guys think about the story? Oh, this makes
You read it beautifully, and I was watching the comments, and they enjoyed the story very much.
beautiful story, right?
And light. I'm curious what you guys think as well. A lot of people seem to be resonating.
Yeah, it's such a beautiful story. It helps me so much when I just need to let go. And, we can just let go anytime like that. And I know we promised that we would also bring in kind of the logical, scientific, side of this, which is, this is something I talk to my clients about often. Whether we are holding on to resentment or fear or anger, it's really about letting go of our commitment to feel that way. And in neuroscience, we call it the refractory period. And that's how long we decide to hold on to these feelings. And that we actually always have power over. So remembering that alone and starting to practice that, even though it might be hard in the beginning, it can be really powerful. So anyway, thank you for listening. And now I've talked enough. I want to hear from Melodi. Melodi, first of all, share with us where you were when we first had the conversation. Many days ago, many months ago. I think it was during COVID, so it must have been 2021. And we got to meet, we got to connect, and something in my heart was like, please share your story. And you've turned that into something so powerful, so impactful. So share with us where you were, where you are now, and just share with us your journey of turning pain to power.
Well, thank you for that. I also just, I think in my, okay, in my own reflections while listening to the story, sometimes it takes me a little time to digest, and I'm wondering if those in the audience are as well. I think the biggest takeaways for me was hearing the word angel a lot stood out to me the most, and I do want to say that I think your presence in my life is a bit like an angel, drops of light, and I could feel the emotion for you in this story, so I'm really glad you shared it. Because you and I connected, like you said, in the last live stream. This was in May of 2021. At that time, everybody who is listening right now, I was really lost and really processing. That was the first time that I had shared what happened to me. My family, every person goes through their own sets of difficulties. But I guess the one that was hard for me was losing my father. And Yuri had connected to me as well that she's lost her father as well. Of course, like that what sorry, you guys, I ramble a little bit. It's the overthinking brain. But that live stream was the first time I shared about his suicide publicly. I'd always told people it was an accident because that's what I was led to believe. And so even in the understanding of the truth behind his death, which was a choice, right? And I know a lot of you probably struggle with depression. I've had my struggles. I know Yuri's had hers as well, with multiple things. It's really hard to grapple with. It was very painful. And that's why our title for today is From Pain into Power. Because during that time, during that live stream, I shared for the first time what happened to me. And I'm just a human being, like, grew up in the suburbs, like, I don't know, like, but that was really hard for me. And I was so sad, so for lack of a better word. And I shared that story, the starfish story. That was a story that impacts me. And today we heard what impacts Yuri. And that story is just about how if you can just help one person, that makes all the difference. And where am I going with this? So then a lot of you guys here in the comments, you guys were just sharing like, we're starfishies. And I was like, oh, you know what? That's a great idea. So I'm going to make a Discord around the starfish idea and came out with Starfish Community. Well, what do you know? Here we are, a year and a half, almost 2 years later. I've still been working on Starfish, and I look at that moment, that painful moment where I was crying in front of a bunch of strangers. I don't know you guys. And yes, I am wearing pajamas. I saw your guys' comments. Nothing like being that space has changed my life because I've been able to connect with so many of you and hear about what your lives are like. And as painful as it is, to grapple with what would bring a parent to such a dark place, or to lose somebody, whether that be death or breakup or anything, and then hear and connect with other people through what pains them. That was really powerful. I have found and assigned myself some meaning. And sometimes all it takes is a window of opportunity and a moment of inspiration, and you can ride that momentum into a better future. And you don't even know what it looks like. For me, at least, I think of it as some days we have great weather, some days we have thick fog. And on those thick, foggy days, you can only see like 1 or 2 steps ahead of you, right? Like you're like, I don't know where I'm going. And then you take one step at a time. And then some days it's a sunny, bright day. You have a lot of energy and you're like, yep, that's where I'm going. I know exactly where I'm headed, this direction. But every day changes and you lose random things along the way. And like most of the time it's people. And that's what hurts the most. And pets, like low key, pets are great. That's a little bit more about how my life has gone since the last live stream. And I really love connecting with you guys right now. Just seeing what you guys have to say in the comments. And so to bring back the attention to you guys, I wonder what's something really painful for you right now? Because it's like, you look at these things that are so painful and you can't imagine how could that transform into something powerful? Like how can I use something painful and make meaning out of that? That sounds ridiculous. I totally understand. So I'm wondering, what is paining you? Where is your heart? What is weighing you down? Or what is paining your mind, I suppose? And yes, I can be a little derpy, so hello.
And to answer that, I would love to just address some of these comments here. First of all, thank you for sharing, Melody. And I know this is a very vulnerable story for you. And I really acknowledge you for really, this is one, among many things. But one of the things that I really admire about you is you have this ability to really dig deep, to speak from what's truly authentic and present for you. And sometimes that's going to look less than quote unquote perfect. I love that. I think that's most perfect because, we're humans and we're supposed to, the only reason we strive for perfection is because we think we're not perfect already, which is so silly. And yeah, I'm seeing some of these comments and listen, there's so many people who are moving through or have moved through either losing their parent also or losing somebody close to them. And guess what? If you haven't, not to instill quote unquote fear around this, because you shouldn't fear this, we're all going to lose somebody we love at one point. I mean, that's really the cycle of life. I mean, it's silly to be in this illusion that we think we're never going to lose someone we love. So if you have lost someone, if you are scared of losing someone that you love, well, congratulations, you're human, and that's okay. And that's why we get to connect and share these human experiences and validate and support each other, knowing that this is so normal. There isn't one person in this world who's not going to experience grief in some way. I promise you. Somebody just said, and I want to address this because I'm not triggered by this, but I don't want people to think, I think there's a stigma when people are moving through difficult challenges, like coming back to neutral for some people is a really big deal. And when we talk about power, it's, coming back to neutral as well as making something out of it. And wherever you are in that journey, I really acknowledge you because I've been every part of that journey, and it takes immense amount of power. In the first place is to acknowledge what's going on. And so I don't think we're confusing power with complacency. In fact, since I've lost my dad from cancer, I've turned my life into a whole different direction. I was in the corporate world. Nothing wrong with being in the corporate world. I just knew I wasn't personally aligned with who I was and what I was supposed to do with my life and what I really wanted to create for myself. I quit my corporate job. I built a business. Actually, a few, but one of them being my heart mission driven practice, my coaching practice. And obviously, Melodi is one of my clients, or was, and Psych2Go is one of my clients. And I've written books, and I'm passionate about what I do. And Melody has created this whole community since her addressing her pain and sharing. She's helping a lot of people, and she's doing it because she genuinely cares, because she genuinely wants to create an impact. And I think that's really powerful. So I just want to address that. Here, we are creating the safe space, by the way, for support and love. And while all comments are appreciated, I really want to invite all of you guys to be in the safe place, the supportive place. Not for us, but for each other. We're good. We're good. But we're here to support you. So no judgment in this. And then also, oh yeah, let's address some of these comments. I know you asked them for what they're moving through. Let's see what they have to say.
So many people are moving through something. I hear a lot of loss, friendships, breakups, trauma from parents, family, I'm sure. Perfectionism, then the struggle with that. Oh yes, friends and families being unsupportive. Being sad is absolutely okay. I'm going up, so getting up there. Being bullied, overeating, undereating, I'm sure as well. Autism. By the way, autism is not a bad label at all. It's a neurodivergent label, and I also attribute neurodivergence to myself. But not a lot of people will be able to understand that experience. Difficulty with friendships, rejection. It's all very difficult things. Thank you guys for sharing. Coming back down
And
here,
as people are sharing this, I want you guys to realize that you probably all have felt that emotion at one point in your life. Whether, they're scared, they're afraid, they're, shame, guilt, whatever. All of these feelings are normal. Everyone experiences at one point, just in different variations. With that said, our chat being about turning pain into power, let's do an exercise right now. It's an exercise that I help my clients with at times, and it's an exercise around reframing. Because I can look at my hardships in my life, you guys. I almost lost somebody that is very close to me to suicide also. I've lost my dad to cancer. It's been some difficult challenges in my life. However, I had to learn to reframe these as a blessing. And at first, some might feel even triggered, how could you see that as a blessing? But I truly believe that because of those things that happen, I get to be who I am today. So I just want to say, with whatever you're sharing or not sharing that you're holding in your heart as we talk about this, like that most painful thing that you're holding on to, I want to ask you two questions. What benefit or what blessing has come from that? And I want you to dig deep if it's hard for you to get at, really like connect to that. So, for example, I know that for me, even though it was so difficult to almost lose one of my parents to suicide, I am here talking to you guys, being able to connect with Melody, being able to connect with other people who either have experienced these mental health challenges and or who are, who have been affected by suicide. I've actually also volunteered and raised a bunch of funds for American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, helping other people save their lives. I've helped save some of my clients' lives with or without knowing. And I know for you, you've done, suicide hotline, you've done different things to immediately turn that into practical power as well. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, I also want to comment a couple things here and talk about that, address that as well. I just see you guys being really vulnerable and sharing authentically. I know we're all a bunch of online strangers. I may not ever really meet you guys in person or see you, but I do hear everything you guys are moving through. I do want to say that the things that I hear, also I see DJ Bond, you said, I learned I cannot stop someone I love from killing themselves. I like to raise awareness around like suicide awareness. I'm not afraid to say the word suicide, but I know it makes a lot of people uncomfortable. I work for a suicide hotline. I actually have a shift tonight after this. But you hear some really terribly sad and heartbreaking things when, and over the phone too, in their voice, what people are moving through. And kind of sometimes people are calling hotlines at the lowest moments of their lives. You never really wake up and think like, yeah, that's what I want to do today, call a hotline. Like it's people out there were really hurting, and I see you guys sharing right now as well. Thank you for that. Sometimes just voicing what you're moving through is a release in itself, and that's part of that transforming pain into power. You need to let things pass through, and kind of to tap into also why we're talking about spirituality today. It's not so much, we're not really trying to get into religion, right? It's more the practice of what can you do to improve your spiritual health and your mental health, because they're interconnected. Just like you guys know, physical health, right? Physical, mental health, those are connected. So is spiritual. Spiritual, you can kind of link the soul, and it's kind of introspection, looking into yourself. I have found that when I meditate, and even studies have been done, you're more likely to have a calmer nervous system. You're going to have reduced levels of stress. You're going to feel more grounded. You're going to have higher levels of focus. It's not easy, but I just passed 50 days of daily meditation and 50 days of, yes, thank you. See, that physical piece important. I made it past 50 days of gym for the first time in my life. 50 days of meditation, that's the spiritual piece. And then the mental piece is that gratitude streak. And I know a lot of us here on Psych2Go want to talk about the mental, but a little bit of that spiritual stuff can be helpful. And I know prayer is kind of linked to more like religion. And what is that? Like, we don't like to talk about that sometimes, right? Because a lot of us also have been through religious trauma, and I'm not afraid to talk about it. And if you can relate to that, feel free to share. Because it's hard when people press things onto you, right? Like their beliefs. But at the end of the day, it's a very subjective and individual experience of learning what do you know about the universe. And not to get a little existential, but like, why are we here? Why are we on a rock in space? You hear that a lot, right? Like, what are we doing here? And so kind of exploring that and letting yourself think about it is healthy. And they're all interconnected. And so in the last 2 years, I thought I was just doing the mental health thing. But while I was going down that mental health journey, I found and stumbled across a lot of spiritual stuff too. And I don't know wherever you guys are here, that in the comments, all of you guys, I don't know where you are in your journeys. I don't know you. You kind of know me, but not really. It's so little you can know about someone based off of like a little bit of an interaction or even just a couple photos, right? Or like a couple of paragraphs. But I know, and my intention with Yuri here today is that you're here for a reason, and I'm here for a reason in this call or this live stream. And we're all trying to be okay. And it's okay not to be okay. I've been very not okay. So is Yuri. But we don't want to be suffering and we don't like pain. So how can we transform that and transmute it into something better? And those are a couple of my thoughts there, Yuri. I don't know. I want to pass it to you because I'm going to read the comments now.
Thank you for sharing. And this is one thing I think about, you guys. If you aren't sure what spirituality means to you, one thing that you can start with is think about literally like the best version of yourself that could exist. There's a movie called Everywhere Everything All at Once. I think that's a movie that won like 9 awards this year. I love that movie because it talks about how there's all these parallel universes and how all these different versions of ourselves could exist. What that means is with every action that you take, whether it's a micro action or a big action, it really changes the course of your life. And so imagine that there's a version of you, like the most divine, most best version of you that could possibly exist. If nothing else, even if you're atheist or if you have your own God and you want to understand what that all means or how this relates to spirituality, one thing I do is I constantly pray and ask and converse with that version of me, the best version of me that somehow exists in the future, the most divine version of myself. For me, it's all about just connecting to that, connecting to who I can become. If there were parallel universes, if there's a frequency of myself that I can tune into, that is that version. Like, I'm just really trying to tune into that and connect to that through meditation, through prayer. You're literally just praying for your highest self. So it has nothing to do with religion, God, anything. They can coexist, they can exist separately, or you don't have to believe in religion. It's actually not it's not even that much correlated. It's a separate thing, because I think spirituality, at least for me, and you can completely, interpret this in your own way, but it's about my relationship to my highest self. It's my relationship to the world around me. So it doesn't have to be about a God or anything. And everything is God, yes. I want to answer some of these questions. Why does kindness and forgiveness push away the feminine? It's not the kindness and the forgiveness that's pushing away the feminine. It's the limiting belief that it is. Listen, read this statement right here. It says, why does that push away the feminine? You somewhere deep down believe that by you being kind and forgiving, you're pushing away the feminine. Therefore, you're asking this question. So this isn't so much about your kindness or forgiveness that's actually getting in the way. It's the thought itself that it is getting in the way that's getting in the way, if that makes sense. Also, it's interesting that you said, why does it push away the feminine, not the masculine or not people? So I would be keen to understand your relationship to the feminine. Even if you don't know it right now, there might be some resentment, there might be some unhealed or parts of your relationship with the feminine that you get to actually forgive. So in that way, maybe you're not embodying forgiveness as much as you think you are, because why are you grouping the feminine as someone or a group of people or whatever, the energy that's against you? So my question is, what can you do to neutralize that and really forgive? I hope that helps. And what else?
Do you mind pinning the one where someone asked, is it normal to be numb to almost all of the tragic events that that happened in my life? Is it all right if I answer that one?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, okay, keep that one there. The alchemy, I was thinking alchemy as well, so whoever wrote that, green thumb. I just want to address just real quick, Miss Jade, I see. Is it normal to be numb? Normal is, again, something you just, different depending on who you ask. But it is expected to a degree that if you go through so much pain, your nervous system can't handle it. Your brain literally will try to protect you. I'm sure you guys maybe have heard those the four responses, right? So you have freeze, and you just kind of stop in your tracks. You have fight, which you want to fight people. Flee, which is when you run away, and there's fawn, which is when you try to win the other side over. That's like a whole other topic. But in the case where, like, imagine you're a kid. Imagine you're a kid stuck in a really scary situation. You're really small and you're not strong enough to fight off the bad people. Like, let's just say there's like a scary monster. You can't fight them off. You can't run away because you're stuck in the room. So the last thing you have left is freeze, and you kind of just go into yourself. Your brain is actually able to withdraw into itself, and you get locked inside of like a little room in your own head where it's not painful anymore. So no matter what happens to you out here, it doesn't matter because you've just locked yourself away. And to a degree, I also have seen, I think, way earlier in the comments, that's a little bit why people self-harm. And I'm not afraid to talk about these things out loud. In this space, it's a safe container. And talking about these things lessens the stigma. But when you feel so numb, sometimes you want to know that you're still human or that you're still alive. And self-harming can be a part of that. There's actually like just to get a little bit more sciencey, you can actually, when it gets so bad, when you self-harm, your brain will naturally release opioids, which is pain relief. Your brain can create its own pain relief. So yes, basically, it is possible for you to feel super numb, and it's just like a block. So no one likes being constipated. It's a little bit like being emotionally constipated. And it's hard. How do you stop being constipated? That's a whole other topic. But I just wanted to address and validate it's okay if you're feeling numb. Life is really hard, to put it understatement. And we experience so much pain. Sometimes we just can't take it anymore. So, anyways.
And I wanna add this in because there's two aspects of this. First of all, I think it's really powerful to be present with what you're feeling. And this is what therapy is amazing for, right? And sharing in these kind of ways. What's real to you, what's true to you, that's all powerful. I've actually helped people, my own clients, who've had self-harming tendencies, and they stopped. And that's possible. The truth is, though, a lot of y'all who might be self-harming, you're present to it. You're stuck in the story that it's helping you. But I will also want to challenge you with so much love. Who would you be without that story? Are you committed to being that person, even though it's no longer serving you? And can you maybe play into the possibility that you were just you, not the story of you are this person who self-harms? Without making it bad, without making it good, just being like, well, who am I if that part of my identity no longer existed? Because there's like this escalation of commitment that happens where we would rather hold on to our old identity, even if it doesn't serve us, just because it's comfortable. How many years, months, days have you been telling yourself, I am this person who self-harms? And then all the input that you get, and then your reaction and all the things that you get from that, you've created a system. It's a self-soothing system. So I acknowledge you for creating something. However, sometimes we get to look at our habits, and negative thinking, self-harming is also a habit. And I say that with love because once you can see that, you have a choice. That's when you can turn that into power. You have to be able to imagine yourself as a new identity. This is what I can do. This is my superpower. When I saw Melodi, when I even saw Ty from Psych2Go, or a lot of my clients, I can immediately see that new identity for them with all the things that they want and more. So for me, of course, I have exercises that work on these micro shifts, but really what I'm committed to creating is a new identity for my clients. And this is also available for you guys. If you really let this land, I promise there's an opportunity for you to shift. Who are you without the thing, the pain, the story around the pain? Like, just imagine for a moment. And it's weird because sometimes I feel this too. Sometimes I'm like in a bad mood and I have to really challenge myself and then like be an observer. I know we talked about books on Melodi. One of the books that we love is An Untethered Soul by Michael Singer. And he talks about this, being an observer of yourself, being an observer of your consciousness and your emotions. When you see this, you'll see that there's like this weird attachment of you wanting to stay mad, you wanting to stay angry, you wanting to stay resentful, you wanting to stay even guilty or shameful. Like, it's weird, but if you can really see that part of you and be like, oh, that's there. What would it feel like if I didn't feel committed to feeling that way? And like, just let go for a bit. Why do I have such resistance about letting go, about being mad? And when you can really start to like notice these different parts of you and say, okay, I'm going to just try on this identity who is not mad ever. And your mind is immediately going to be like, well, that's human existence. Do you have, like, you can't be perfect. You can't feel, good all the time. Okay. Yeah, but we can strive for it. Why not? And if that isn't inevitable, why commit to feeling bad when you don't have to? I think there's also time and place for you to be present with what you're feeling and let that move through you and be patient. I'm not talking about those times. I'm talking about the times that you know that that time has expired deep down. You know that you being harmful to yourself is no longer serving you, your family, your friends, anyone around you, and it's time for you to shift. Do something different to love yourself. In those moments, I invite you guys to be courageous, because when we talk about turning pain into power, there's two things actually, I'll say that is absolutely necessary for that to happen. One is courage. It takes courage to say, I don't want to resonate with this person who self-harms anymore. That is not me anymore. I don't want to label myself as someone who's mad, angry, sad all the time anymore. And then it takes commitment to this new identity. One thing I saw in you, Melodi, I saw your commitment to be a leader. That identity shifted for you massively. And that really changed for you, right? So
It did.
I invite you guys to think about that new part of your identity. And this is going to be a little bit challenging if you've been living in the survival mindset for so long, in the fight, flight, flee, fawn state for so long. But I really challenge you to think about this, and this can change your life if you let it. What is that one new part of your identity that you're willing to commit to? For Melodi, she committed to meditating every day. She committed to working out every day. This is her new identity emerging every day. It's through these everyday habits. So for you guys, what is that one thing? Do you want to be smart? Okay, then how many books do you commit to reading? Do you want to identify as someone who has overcome the challenges? Okay, then what is the new identity like? Like, what is she or he, or like, what are they like? Are they happier? Do they smile more? These are little things we can do every day just to tune into who we're becoming. So I want you guys to remember that. I want you to remember or think about, what do you get to be courageous about right now, today? And what do you get to commit to on your daily basis so that you can actually shift your identity to something else? So That's what I wanted to share because it's good. It's good to validate. It's good to have a safe place. And now that we've determined that this is a safe place, I also want to powerfully remind you guys that you don't have to stay there. You don't have to feel bad all the time. This life, I mean, look around, you guys. Like, I am in awe every single morning I wake up and say, holy moly, whether there's a creator or God or whatever, Big Bang or whatever you believe in or not, like, how is it that all of these things were created? It's absolutely amazing. Look at the flowers, like the perfect little petals. Look at these bugs, even. How do they like lay eggs? And like, I mean, all these things are actually miraculous. Einstein said this: you can either look at life as if nothing's a miracle or everything's a miracle. And that's absolutely. So
Sorry
anyway,
about that.
yeah, no, go ahead, Melody. So thank you for being here, you guys. I know some of y'all are leaving. It's amazing to have you guys here. And Melody, what do you have to add today? Oh, tell us about what you've created. This is where we're getting to.
Yes, I just wanted to touch. I think there's so many topics that you touched on that we could totally expand on. So unfortunately, I wish we had more time. But I see you guys as well sharing as always, and I resonate a lot. I think the one thing I wanted to fixate on that out of the many great things that you shared is, shaping the new identity. And I think a piece of that is letting go, which we've talked about a little bit as well. Releasing of the past, right? We can't, like, for example, if your identity is I hurt myself, and I want to be honest with you guys, I used to hit my head a lot, like BPD vibes, when you're like really mad, you don't know how to handle it, but I'm like, I can't hurt other people, so I'm just gonna hit myself. Like, that's, yeah, she crazy. Yes, I get it. It's all good. But when that's your identity, sometimes you just realize you don't want to be that anymore and you have to let go. And it's not that easy, right? It's easier said than done. I get that. It also takes time. I've been on a journey for the last 2 years. I'm still not where I want to be. But I just want to share about letting go, releasing of the past, making room for new things. And that's why I have this plant. And I also want to share with you guys, why is my hair short? Well, let me tell you, I shaved my head in October. So there's like people wondering, like, why is there a trend of girls shaving their heads? Well, it's kind of, they say that hair holds memory. I'm not telling you guys to go shave your head and then that's going to solve your problems. It's not, okay? But for me, I'm very expressive about what I'm moving through with my appearance. And I think that's a beautiful thing about like beauty and fashion as well, by the way, for like also feminine folk. But I shaved my head and now my hair is growing back and I feel like a new identity is growing with my hair and even this plant. I came into this little Airbnb space and these plants were dying. And I had lots of dead leaves on this little dude. But I saw that it just needed a little help and I took off all those dead leaves and left just this one at the top. And if you can see, there's already a little leaf growing here and there's like little baby leaves coming in now. And I'm now attached to this plant. So I'm going to ask the lady if I can take this plant with me because it's beautiful. It's really beautiful when you let go of the past and like all these things that hurt you, that weigh you down. Sometimes you just have to shed. And then there's room for new growth. And I wish that for all of you as well. I'm really happy to be here to share with you guys how far I've personally come in my personal journey as one tiny human being on this planet since the last live stream. Like, but yeah, and that's why, you guys are welcome to connect with me if you want in Starfish Community. It's a Discord server. I created that space so that if you want to be a part of a community that's all about wellness, and that being mental health, spiritual health, physical health, all of those things are really important. That is a space for you if you want to be a part of it. There is no like, I just want to be there to talk to you guys. It gives my life meaning. I love watching people grow. I think Yuri feels that way with her clients as well. It's I was a teacher, so I really love watching, knowing that I was in like a student's life for like a small period of their life, right? We don't know how long. You don't know how like far reaching or long lasting the impact you make on someone's life is. But I know there's a kid out there that's like, yeah, I had a really weird teacher and she shaved her head. And so I guess I left an impact and I hope it was a good one. And right now, I don't know if I'll ever interact with any of you again, but I genuinely care for you as, we're all brothers and sisters as human species. And you don't have to believe me, but I do hope that wherever you are, whoever you are, that you blossom or that you can let go and then continue to make room for new things and shape an identity of who you want to be. And learn to dream, which is something Yuri helped me with.
Thank you for sharing. And so, yeah, you guys, if you would like to join Melodi on her Starfish Journey, which is a Discord community, and or her Patreon, feel free to let us know in the comments, and we'll follow up. Meanwhile, I'm just reading some of this.
Okay. Yes.
Thank you all for being here. Yeah, share with us a little bit in the comment if you're still here. So lovely to see all of you. Feel free to share with us in the comment what landed for you. We shared a bunch today. We talked about our journeys and why we do what we do, what this means to us on a personal level, how we have personally turned our pains into power, and more. Talked about, I shared the little soul in the soul story, which I love, about forgiveness. We acknowledge some areas of our lives, our own lives, and other people that we can forgive. We talked about identity transformation, which is what I do, which I support my clients with, so that they can really start to dream again, really start to create a new identity again, and really let go of all the aspects of themselves that no longer serve them and create magic, create power. We talked about Melodi's Discord community, Starfish, and her mission to support the world, which is very much aligned with Psych2Go's mission of eliminating mental health stigma around the world, as well as advocating for creating a safe space and connection, and so on. So,
well, my one book recommendation. So I have 2 book recs, and also Yuri has 2 book recs, and one of our books coincide. But my book recommendation to all of you guys is The Untethered Soul. I just finished reading it yesterday, and it's a lot about I know a lot of Psych2Goers, you guys are obviously watching the Psych2Go videos because you want to know more about yourself, and that's introspection. The Untethered Soul is about looking inwards and about observing those negative thoughts and realizing that they're just like clouds. Oh, that one looks like a horse. And then it passes. You get too attached to them, they get stuck, right? And then it's painful. Sometimes the clouds are not nice either. They have like thunder clouds, right? Okay, anyways, I'm going on a ramble. That's my first book recommendation. And I also want to recommend Yuri's book, which is Creating True Happiness. I read it last year when she gave it to me. I find that she has a lot of really, if you like, again, introspecting, there she is. There are a lot of really powerful prompts that she walks you through each chapter. And it was helpful for me. So I've dog-eared a lot of them because I want to come back to those questions, revisit them. But those are my 2 book recommendations for all of you guys to leave you with something. There will be a link eventually somewhere to Starfish, but books are powerful, you can reread them, and journal prompts are even better, and you can share them with your friends. So I don't know. Do you have book recs, Yuri?
Yeah. One of them, I would say, Seven Spiritual Laws of Success by Deepak Chopra. That was a book that really changed my life, the direction of my life. I mean, I've read many, many books. Untethered Soul is one of them. I wonder, did I recommend that book to you? Anyway, it's a powerful book. I love that book as well. The Seven Spiritual Laws of Success is a very simple book. Ooh, and actually one more. Two more. Well, obviously, my book. I love my book. If you guys want to learn a little bit more about my stories, there's a lot of journaling prompts here, stories of other people, a lot of the intimate moments that I've had. You know, some people are asking, like, how did you let go of your grief and, you know, sense of loss around your loved ones? I talk about all that. So that's one. But also, what book was I going to say? It was at the top of my tongue. There's another book I was going to say. Oh, The Alchemist. Since we're talking about turning pain into power, The Alchemist is a really powerful book. That's also a very easy read, but also one of those books that you read and every single time you get something new out of it. That by Paulo Coelho. That's a powerful book. So as we're talking about spirituality, turning pain into power, these are some books that we have recommend for you guys. So feel free to check these out. We'll go ahead and put this in the link as well. We'll also put the Starfish Community link. It should be in the description, but we'll post again and we'll pin it. So yeah, thank you so much for being here. Other than that, you guys, I'm also a performance coach. Like I said, I've worked with amazing humans like Melodi, amazing leaders like Ty from Psych2Go, who's the CEO of Psych2Go, and many, many amazing clients. So if you're a high achiever, entrepreneur, business owner, any of those sorts, and you're curious how we can potentially work together, you can also book a 30-minute consultation below. Serious people only. And I'll go ahead and include that in the caption as well. So if you guys have any questions for me, let me know. Other than that, I want to join Starfishy. I love it. So thank you so much for
Sorry if I cut you off there. I just want to say that I see a lot of really wonderful book recommendations from you guys as well. So if you guys want to, you know, write these down from each other as well, we got a lot of really great book recs going on. I have a final request. I'm not very good at advocating for myself, but if you guys want to support me on my endeavors and developing resources for people, I also have a Patreon, and follow along month by month what I accomplished with Starfish. It's really interesting, but I don't want to go into it for too much. But there will be a Patreon shared as well, and any kind of contribution goes a long way. Half of what I make there, I'm stocking into a scholarship fund for students. And I'm pretty proud of that. So giving back to the world when you guys give to me as well. That's me trying to advocate for myself. You guys advocate for yourselves, because if no one else will, you need to. So
yeah. Well, you guys, thank you for being here again. Please feel free to comment below. We're going to probably hop off here soon, but do comment what landed for you today. What other types of topics would you like for us to share either on this channel or on our other channels or other streams? I also have a YouTube channel, so feel free to follow me there. Other than that, I just want to share genuine thanks to Psych2Go and all the Psych2Goers here. You guys are really special, really. All of you guys are here because you want to change. You want to be better. You want to feel loved and supported, and we're here. And I really want to thank Psych2Go as a channel, and I've worked with the leadership team there as well. These are freaking passionate, loving people. I've literally never met any group of people like that who are just so passionate about the mission. They don't sleep. Like, one of the things I have to do is, like, you guys get some sleep. They're so excited about what they're creating all the time. My invitation for you is share this channel, share a video today from this channel. Let's get the word out there. This is one of the most amazing platforms I've come across around mental health, around mindset, around creating a community from all over the world. It's a really, really, really powerful platform. And I'm just so grateful that we get to have a voice this way. So grateful for you, Melodi, for sharing your story vulnerably, being authentic as always, and creating this amazing platform, Starfish, as well. We'll be also sharing the links for that. And I acknowledge every single one of you guys who are here, either who are here now, or was here before, or just logged on in any capacity for joining us. It was really, really amazing. One of my visions for the world is to be able to support people from all over the world like this. So what a cool thing, this technology thing we got going on, that we can do this.
Mm-hmm.
So I love every single one of you guys, whether you were here supporting, whether you had contrasting comments or opinions. I love you. I'm sorry, but I love all of you, because at the end of the day, I know all energy, all time, all attention that you dedicated to this channel in this hour, you created this with us. So I really appreciate all of you. Love you guys genuinely so much. Any last words? By the way, you guys, I have something really special coming up next week. We have another live stream coming up. We might be having the CEO of Psych2Go. Come on, we'll see. With Monica as well. We'll be talking more about mindset and different things that I get really nerdy about. So I'll be talking about all that stuff. But other than that, Melodi, what last comments would you like to add?
Well, let's see. I definitely gratitude. I have a lot of gratitude. And I also do want to take this time again, as Yuri had said, to compliment the Psych2Go team for generating such a community where I get to interact with you guys, and for the Psych2Go team and the CEO, who I do hope you guys get to meet soon. I do hope. He's a lovely individual. For giving me the space to share my story. And some of the people now in my life that I'm super close to, I would have never met if it wasn't for that live stream last time. So I don't know which of you I will know now. Like, that's crazy to me. Crazy to me. Okay? You never know. I also didn't realize that Yuri would leave such an impact in my life. You never know. But I'm so grateful. That is what I feel. And gratitude is a beautiful thing to share. And so is love. And it's hard to believe that some random people you don't know actually mean what they say, because, like, how could they? But I have a lot of love for this world and for my fellow humans. And so I'm really grateful to share this time with you guys. I really wish that we could be answering all the questions. I'm not going to lie. I do see them, or we see them. But nonetheless, it's a blessing to just be able to share and read as well. I hope I get to know more of you. Thank you guys for listening to me ramble and be like blah, 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 because, and thank you, Yuri, so much for the way with this live stream and for being who you are in my life as well. Seriously.
I love you so much. I'm so, so proud of you. And, I think this, we attract people who have similar missions, similar vision, similar heart energy. And I'm just so grateful to have connected with you. You're such a beautiful soul. And I see you. So thank you. So much gratitude.
Love all of you
guys.
as well.
We're both
like, I know, we're like, bleep, bleep, bleep.
Love you guys so much. Feel free to share anything else that comes up. Please feel free to add us on Instagram, on YouTube, and Starfish channel, on Melodi's
Welcome to Starfish.
Yes. Any of those, we welcome. Love you guys so much. We'll see you later.
Take care.
Thank you,
everybody.